Hitting your 50s? Man, what an incredible milestone. But it does come with some new physical realities. As a health consultant, I talk to folks over 50 every single day. And one of the absolute most common things we discuss is how our joints start changing. And here's the catch. They usually change really quietly. Honestly, most people don't even notice it's happening until the simple, everyday things, like walking upstairs or just getting out of bed in the morning, suddenly begin to feel a whole lot harder than they used to.
So let me ask you something. Do you ever notice stiff knees right when you wake up? Or maybe a super tight back after you've been sitting down for a bit too long? Or perhaps your hips start to ache after just a quick walk around the neighborhood? I really want to validate that experience for you right now. If you're not in your head, believe me, you are not alone. This happens to literally millions of adults over 50. But here is the truly encouraging part. You absolutely do not need to just accept feeling uncomfortable every single day.
Okay, let's dive into this. Today we're looking at the 50s and your joints, simple daily movement, effective anti-inflammatory nutrition, the critical importance of recovery, and finally, gaining the freedom to enjoy life. Section 1. The 50s and your joints. Let's understand your body after 50. So, what's actually going on in there? Well, after 50, the body naturally starts losing some muscle mass, and the cartilage in your joints can actually begin to thin out. And since those muscles are weaker, they naturally place way more stress right onto your joints. Honestly, one of the biggest mistakes I see people make is just waiting too long to address this. A little stiffness today can slowly snowball into a much bigger, more painful issue later on. So pay attention to that early stiffness. Definitely do not ignore those aching hips or any sudden drop in your mobility. Listen to your body early on and talk with your doctor safely so you can support your system before that minor discomfort becomes a major roadblock. And you can start right away with really simple home remedies. Try applying a warm compress in the morning to help loosen up those stiff joints, or grab a cold pack after you've been active to bring down any swelling. Moving to Section 2, simple daily movement for keeping your joints flexible. A lot of people fall into this trap of thinking, oh, my joints hurt, I need to stop moving and just rest. Actually, scratch that. A gentle 10-minute walk after dinner is quite literally the exact medicine your body is asking for. Sitting for really long periods just makes your whole body feel worse, right? Movement is what brings that crucial circulation back into your muscles and joints. And no, you do not need to go run a marathon. Something as simple as a brisk 10-minute stroll around the block right after your evening meal will keep those joints moving and help you dramatically more than you might think. But movement isn't just about walking. It's also about fighting back against that natural muscle loss we talked about. And to do this safely, you really don't need a fancy, expensive gym membership. Not at all. Light resistance bands are absolutely fantastic for building muscle strength right in your living room. For instance, just looping a band around your ankles while you're sitting in a chair and doing some light leg extensions, that builds up the critical muscles right around your knees. Small hand weights and basic chair exercises work wonders too. Think of these stronger muscles as your body's built-in shock absorbers. They actively protect your aging joints. All right, Section 3, effective anti-inflammatory nutrition. We are eating to reduce pain. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how much our everyday meals drive joint pain. Processed foods, high sugar, unhealthy oils, and excess sodium, they are basically pouring gasoline on the fire of joint inflammation. Refined sugar, for example, triggers the release of these inflammatory messengers in the body called cytokines almost the second you eat it. But by swapping those sugary snacks out for healthy anti-inflammatory alternatives like leafy greens, fresh berries, salmon, olive oil, nuts, and beans, you can drastically reduce your daily stiffness. These little food choices slowly add up over time to cool down your body's inflammation and ease that daily pain. So the crucial point when it comes to nutrition and joint health is weight. Every extra pound of body weight doesn't just equal 1 pound of pressure on your joints. No, it acts like a multiplier. To put that into perspective, for every single extra pound you carry, your knees feel about 4 extra pounds of pressure with every single step you take. But hey, the goal here is absolutely not perfection, and we aren't trying to look like fitness models. Shedding just a tiny bit of weight through healthy daily habits, like mindful portion control and staying consistently active, removes a massive amount of heavy strain from your joints.
So many of my clients notice that by dropping even just a couple of pounds, they feel so much lighter, more agile, and vastly more comfortable just moving around their own homes. Which brings us to Section 4, the importance of recovery through sleep and hydration. Resting and hydrating are honestly just as vital as staying active. Your cartilage is primarily made up of water, so if you are even a little dehydrated, your joint stiffness is going to feel so much worse. Keep a water bottle nearby all day long. Sometimes what feels like deep joint fatigue or body aches is actually just localized dehydration. Drinking fluids consistently throughout the day keeps your cartilage perfectly lubricated and really eases up that stiffness. And this brilliantly illustrates the sleep side of things. Poor sleep actually amplifies your pain sensitivity the very next day. When you don't rest well, your body's inflammation literally feels stronger. So to combat this, you need to create a calming nighttime routine. Turn off those bright screens early in the evening, avoid any heavy meals late at night, and intentionally set up a cool, exceptionally quiet bedroom environment. Deep restorative rest literally lowers your inflammation and lets your body recover properly, meaning you'll wake up with far less stiffness. Finally, Section 5, the freedom to enjoy life and secure a healthy, independent future. Healthy aging is not about having a perfect body. I really want you to let that sink in. It is absolutely not about chasing those impossible fitness standards we had back in our 20s. The true goal of all these simple habits, it's comfort, it's mobility, and it's holding onto your hard-earned independence. It's really all about having the freedom of movement, the freedom to take nice evening walks with your spouse, or to travel without constantly worrying if your knees are going to handle the trip. It's about being able to get down on the floor to play with your grandkids. Look, we're not training for the Olympics here, we're training for the Grandkid Floor Olympics. Caring for your joints right now is what protects your ability to deeply enjoy these precious moments and just wake up feeling comfortable every single day. So what small habit will you start today to protect your joints for tomorrow? Will it be keeping a water bottle nearby? Maybe a gentle 10-minute walk after dinner? Or swapping out that afternoon sugary snack? Remember, your small habits today dictate your mobility tomorrow. Consider subscribing for more simple, everyday health and wellness explainers designed specifically for adults over 50, and ask yourself, what will your first step be?